In this video, we're going to be looking at document layouts within Business Central, what a document layout is, the difference between a report object and a report layout, and how we can set multiple layouts against a report object and tell Business Central which one to print. So every document layout within Business Central has its own report ID, and that report ID can have multiple layouts on top of that. So these layouts are typically in Microsoft Word, but also sometimes in RDLC, written in Report Builder or Visual Studio. I'm going to be discussing the differences between Word and RDLC and when you might use one over the other in a future video. So when we have a report with multiple report layouts against it, we need to go into Business Central and tell it which report layout we want it to print for that specific scenario. Before we can do that, we need to understand which report ID is being printed within Business Central, as there can be multiple. So the first area we're going to go into is report selections, and this is split down by department. So in this scenario, I'm going to go into report selections, sales, filter it to invoice, and see which report ID is printing for the invoice. In this scenario here, we can see it's 1306. I'm then going to go into report layout selections, filter this by that report ID, 1306, and tell it which layout I want it to print when we print report 1306. So in this scenario, I want to tell it to print my custom layout. In terms of how we create custom report layouts, that's a topic for another video, but in terms of how we can see which reports have custom report layouts, we can view that page within Business Central. So let's go to custom report layouts within Business Central, filter to our report 1306, and we can see all the custom report layouts that are in the system ready for us to assign against that if we want to. Within Business Central, we can also define exceptions to those rules. So if we want a specific layout to print for a specific customer or supplier, we can select that also. So to do this, we go to the master data record of either the customer or the vendor. So in this case, the customer. We go into their record, we drill into document layouts and specify which custom report layout we want to print for this customer. Then whenever we were to print an invoice for this customer, it'll use this layout, not the one we've defaulted in the setup. So if I was to now go into a customer record and print an invoice, I'd get a different layout for this customer than I would for the rest of it. I hope you found this video on document layouts in Business Central useful. Please check out my channel for further videos on document layouts and also Business Central in general.